How do you implement clean architecture in .NET Core? I'm the lead architect for a well-known company, and in this short video, I'll show you how to implement clean architecture in .NET Core. If you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified when I post new videos. Clean architecture is a design pattern that helps you write cleaner and more maintainable code. It consists of 4 layers: infrastructure, domain, application, and presentation. Each layer has its own responsibility, and each layer should be dependent only on the layer below it. This means that the presentation layer cannot depend on the domain layer directly. Instead, it should depend on the application layer, which in turn depends on the domain layer. Let's take a look at an example. Imagine you're building a simple e-commerce website. You might have a domain model for a product that looks like this. It has properties like ID, name, price, and stock. Now imagine that you want to add a discount to the product. You can create a method called applyDiscount in the product class. But this method will break the clean architecture because the presentation layer is now dependent on the domain layer. To fix this, we can move the applyDiscount logic to the application layer. This way, the presentation layer can depend on the application layer, which depends on the domain layer. Now let's take a look at how to implement this in .NET Core. First, we need to create 4 folders: infrastructure, domain, application, and presentation. The infrastructure folder will contain our infrastructure code, which includes things like database access. The domain folder will contain our domain code, which includes our domain models. The application folder will contain our application code, which includes our application services. And finally, the presentation folder will contain our presentation code, which includes our controllers and views. Now let's start adding some code. First, we'll add a controller to the presentation folder. This controller will have a getProductAction method that returns a product. We'll also add a view to the presentation folder that displays the product details. Now let's build out the rest of the layers. First, we'll add a product repository to the infrastructure folder. This repository will be used to get a product from the database. We'll also add a product service to the application folder. This service will get the product from the repository and apply any necessary discounts. Finally, we'll add a product model to the domain folder. This model represents the data for a product. Now let's wire it all together. In the getProductAction method, we'll inject a product service, then call the getProduct method on the service to get the product. Finally, we'll return the product as JSON. In the product service, we'll inject a product repository. Then call the getProduct method on the repository to get the product from the database. If a discount is available, we'll apply it to the product. Finally, we'll return the product. This is a very simple example, but it demonstrates the basic principles of clean architecture. By separating our code into different layers, we can make our code more maintainable and testable. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button and share it with your friends.